One of the biggest myths of the 21st century is that most scientists are atheists and that a greater affinity to science would naturally lead to a decline in faith, which is now classified as superstition. The reality is that most scientists in the past 200 years that people revere, even the atheists, were firm believers in the idea of God. Isaac Newton, the man who proposed the 3 laws of motion and the concept of gravity, was a devout Christian. He once admitted that the system of planets, stars and comets can only be explained by the act of an all-powerful being. He also noted that half-hearted thinkers do not believe in God and that only those who think carefully with a full heart can have faith in God. Albert Einstein, the unparalleled genius of the 20th century, did not believe in God's existence when he was young. But as he grew up, the physicist admitted that the more he studied science, the greater his faith in God increased. In a letter written to a young girl who questioned Einstein about his faith, he said that everyone who is seriously involved in the pursuit of science becomes convinced that some spirit is manifest in the laws of the universe, one that is vastly superior to that of man. In this way, the pursuit of science leads to a religious feeling of a special sort, which is surely quite different from the religiosity of someone more naive. Between 1901 and 2004, 654 Nobel laureates have been religious believers, with 65.4% professing their faith in Christianity. According to data from the United Nations, 242 of the 300 outstanding scientists in the past 3 centuries believed in God in some manner. In 2015, Rice University surveyed scientists that smashed the idea that the profession is the atheist domain. In countries like Italy, India and Taiwan, over half of the scientists admitted to being religious. When asked whether science and religion conflict with one another, only 29% of American scientists agreed with the assessment. However, this does not mean that all religious believers have an aptitude for science. A study published last year among 2,160 Americans found that strong religious faith is linked to less interest in science-related activities. It's important to understand that these results don't show that religious people hate or dislike science. Instead, they are simply less interested when compared to a person who is less religious, study author Jonathan McFetris said in a statement. Interestingly, the same survey conducted in countries like Brazil, Sweden and the Philippines found that greater religiosity actually led to a higher interest in science. Well, that's science for you.